Hey everybody, Houndoomed here, coming at you once again with another episode of Pokemon Black 2. On the last episode we went to Pokestar Studios, had a really boring time, and then took on Team Plasma. And then we made it here to Castelia City. Sorry about the graphical glitching, I know. So I think before I do anything, I was actually going to explore Castelia on this episode, but I think I want to proceed with the story because I want to catch a new Pokemon, which you can catch billions of in the next area, and then I'll explore Castelia. I think that'll be an easy way to do things. So you want to head to the gym if you want to proceed with the plot. If you're looking for the gym leader, Berg, he said there might be trouble and then he took off. You can go look for him if you'd like. Huh? Berg vanished again? Oh, nice hair. Oh, hello Iris. Something came up and Berg isn't here right now. Isn't Berg always vanishing though? He always says he's got the artist block and just goes wandering off out of the gym. Hi there, who are you? Looking for Team Plasma? But Team Plasma disbanded 2 years ago. I guess that doesn't matter. You're having problems, so I'll help you out. Now where would suspicious people go to hide? That's it. That might be where they are. Good grief. Berg and Iris are so similar. It looks like she went around the corner towards the Pokemon Center. Do you know where the Pokemon Center is? If you keep following the street that goes around Castelia City, it's right there. Alright, so he gives you some signals of where you want to be going. So yeah, let's hop to it. So you just want to be heading round onto the Pokemon Center, which is right here, in case you missed it. Hey, come on! Thumpir is past here. If you mention a suspicious place in Castelia City, the only places that come to mind are Narrow Street and here. So why didn't we check Narrow Street? I don't know. Doesn't make much sense. This way! Come on, have a look. Alright, fine, no need to push me. You can't go out that way to Sky Arrow Bridge, it is blocked off. But I will be covering that in the next episode, don't worry. You can go inside the sewers from here. What do you think? Seems pretty suspicious, right? So yeah, this is a new area in Black 2 and White 2. Hey Hugh. Sean, did you find Team Plasma? Nah, not yet. Ugh, those dirty Pokemon thieves. That means the only place I still haven't... Wow, really? You were that quick? Still haven't checked his... Sean, help me out. Off he goes again. Yep, the sewers are a perfect place for hiding. I guess they are. So, let's head inside. Got some new music as well. Sean, I need you to get tougher. Even I'm going to have trouble taking them on all by myself. Anyway, it's okay. I'll take care of healing our Pokemon. I'm counting on you, Sean. Are you ready to go? Let's find them. Okay, so interesting things to note about this place. First of all, there are three new Pokemon, sorry. Which I'll cover in Pokemon reviews in just a second. But in autumn and winter, the water is drained in the sewers, so it's going to be a little bit different in the way that you explore this place. When you go to the second area, because you go to one place with Hugh and then you can go everywhere else. There are some places you can only go when the water is drained, and there are some places you can only go when the water is up. And also in spring and summer later on when you have surf you can explore even more places. But yeah, so I think I will do the Pokemon reviews right now. So, cue Pokemon reviews. See you in a sec. One of the new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Sewers is Zubat. Zubat is a poison flying type and can have the abilities Inner Focus or Infiltrator as a hidden ability. It can only be found at the Castelia Sewers. And in the original Black and White, it can only be found by breeding Golbat, which can be caught at the Giant Chasm and other places. When looking at its stats, it looks like a very plain Pokemon with no outstanding stats at all. Its speed being its most presentable, but even then it's not really anything special. When it evolves into Golbat at level 22, it picks up a little more in the stat department, becoming a little faster, and getting usable attack, with okay defensive stats for an unevolved Pokemon. As a Golbat, it can be found at the Dream Yard, the Celestial Tower and the Strange House in Black 2 and White 2. And in the original Black and White, it can be found at Route 13 and the Giant Chasm. To evolve it into a Crobat though, you will have to level it up while it is at full happiness. But when it does so, it picks up a little more in the stat department once again. Picking up usable attacking power, has pretty decent defences, but is lightning quick. It is very, very fast. Can be found as a Crobat in the Dream Yard and the Shaken Grass, and same places as Golbat in the Shaken Grass as well. Its abilities all stay the same, and typing and what have you. But when it comes to Crobat's a decent flying type. It's not incredible, but it's not bad. I mean, it has the stats in the right places. I mean, it would probably appreciate having a little taken out of speed and putting it into attack. Say, I don't know, maybe base 110 attack, base 110 speed. Just because then it might be, you know, it'd be a bit more powerful while still being pretty damn quick. However, Crobat does learn acrobatics through level up. I think Golbat does as well, and that's a very powerful move and will easily get Crobat throughout the game. Of course, being a poison type, it does mean that its other stab move is very, very bad. On top of that, its coverage moves suck. It has no way to touch any steel types unless you use its special attack, where it can learn moves such as Heat Wave, and of course the good old Hidden Power. But other than that, it cannot muscle through steel types in any way, unless they have a secondary typing, so that kind of sucks. But when it comes to Crobat's a decent Pokemon, and I would give it 3.5 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Sewers is good old Rattata. Rattata is a normal type, and can have the abilities either Run Away or Guts, with Hustle as a hidden ability. It can be found at the Castelia Sewers, as well as Castelia Garden and the Relic Passage. But in Black and White 1, you're going to have to breed a Raticate. When looking at its stats, again, nothing unbelievably impressive. Its speed is pretty good though, and its attacking power is okay for an unevolved Pokemon. Of course, the one that you catch will obviously be in the top percentile. But when it evolves into Raticate at level 20, it gets a little more in the stat department. I mean, it's decently fast, has okay attack power, can learn Swords Dance at level 1, which is nice, so you might want to get yourself that if you wish to use a Raticate. Its abilities all stay the same, but as a Raticate it can be found at the Dream Yard, the Strange House and the Relic Passage, and in Black and White 1 it can be found at the Dream Yard. Raticate, despite what youngster Joey might tell you, really isn't a very good Pokemon. It has very, very low stats, and is of course the very generic normal type, and follows a similar trend to Watchog in that it's just not very good. Its stats don't do it any favours either, and it doesn't learn very good moves either, with not really many ways to touch steel types. However, Raticate is okay, and I'm going to have to give it 2 stars. The final new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Sewers is Grimer. Grimer is a poison type, and can have the abilities either Stench or Sticky Hold, with Poison Touch as a hidden ability. It can only be found at the Castelia Sewers in Black 2 and White 2, and in Black and White 1 it's completely absent, so you're going to need to trade. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's obviously physically orientated, having pretty decent physical attack for an unevolved Pokemon, with fair defences, but fairly lousy special attack and speed. When it evolves into Muck at level 38, it picks up a lot more in the attack, HP and special defense side, becoming pretty damn specially defensive with good physical attack, with decent physical defense as well, but again its special attack and its speed still kinda suck. As a Muck though, it can be found at Route 9, as well as the Hidden Grosso there in Black 2 and White 2, as well as in the Rippling Water in the Castelia Sewers. In Black and White 1 it's still absent, however. When considering Muck for a poison type, it's okay. I mean, it's not that great, especially considering you have access to Coughing at this point, as well as Venipede, which are 2 much better poison types. But Muck isn't all that bad. The only thing that's really stopping it is the fact that Grimer is really not very good, and it takes a long time for Grimer to evolve into Muck. We're talking it's going to be a Muck just before or just after the 6th gym, which is a long time to wait considering this is just before the 3rd. So yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not amazing. Purely by its stats, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. Okay, so let's head on. I don't have any repels right now, but I do want to catch a new Pokemon. It's not here, but I do want to catch a new one. You're going to get a bit of an overload of bios in just a second though, so I do apologise. So here's where you want to go. Oh, hello, we've got a new Pokemon. Oh, it's 2 Rattatas. So yeah, it's not really advised to try and catch Pokemon at this point because they will have you'll be doing double battles, and so it's much more difficult to catch Pokemon. So just wait until this little bit is over, and then you can do what you wish. Hey! What do you want? Team Plasma, you villains! What? Don't treat us like villains, and don't interfere with our plans to liberate Pokemon. Liberate? Ha! You're just ordinary Pokemon thieves. And what's more, you use those stolen Pokemon like they're tools. Shut up! Hand over your Pokemon. Let's do this, Sean. So, here is one of the instances where you team up with Hugh. There are plenty of them throughout the game, don't worry. So we have a Scraggy and a Sandile. 2 Pokemon we haven't seen before. Scraggy is Dark Fighting, Sandile is Dark Ground. Nothing too special hanging around. The Sandile's probably worse than the Scraggy, but to be honest with you, these Pokemon aren't too much of a trouble for your starter, whichever starter you went with. Well, that didn't do very much, ouch. Just go for another Ember. Ugh, really? Would be nice to, oh, damn you. Wow, that did a lot. Ouch. Leaf Tornado, okay. That's doing more than my Embers, that's quite disgraceful, to be honest. Ugh, I'm getting really sick of losing over here. This Pokemon I stole is no help at all. They're really tough. But whatever, we've got the Pokemon we need, now we flee! Didn't try to stop them, did you? They run away just like Patrat. Okay, let's go further inside. There might be more in there. I don't think that's necessary, you two. Wow, who are you? You look creepy. Could you be Gym Leader Berg? Yes, sir. One and the same. I'm Berg. And there was no one suspicious beyond here. Is that so? Yes, indeedy. I'm concerned about Team Plasma as well. More importantly, shall we leave this place? For some reason this sewer is bugging me. You'll see why that's such a stupid pun in just a second. Huh. Didn't you and the other gym leaders fight Team Plasma 2 years ago? Thanks for your help. Here, use this. So you get the HM for strength, which is kinda nice. I'll find those other Team Plasma punks. I'll never forgive Pokemon thieves. No way. Okay. He's gone. You there! Who is that? Who are you? You have really funky hair. That was an excellent demonstration of battling. The way you brought out the power of your Pokemon against an opponent like Team Plasma. Astounding. Astounding. Simply astounding. Interesting as well. I see. Creepy. Who was that? Well, no matter. What are you going to do? You can stay here and train your Pokemon. Or maybe you should come challenge me, the gym leader. Be seeing you. Okay, so we can now explore the Castelia Sewers free reign. If you can only access that item when it's spring or summer. If you want to know what it is, it's basically a heart scale. So yeah. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, because I think I might possibly explore these 3 areas in one go. I'm not sure. I'm going to need some repels if I'm going to do that. But yeah. Hello, Zubat. I don't need you. Okay. So let's head inside the Relic Passage, which is just up here. So we have 4 new Pokemon in here. I think it's 4. So cue some more Pokemon reviews. I'm sorry. One of the new Pokemon you can find in the Relic Passage is Roggenrola. Roggenrola is a pure rock type and can have the ability Sturdy. as well as Sand Force as a hidden ability. When looking at its stats, it looks like a very, very generic rock type, having very high attack and defensive stats, with okay HP, with very depressing special stats as well as speed. It can obviously only be found at the Relic Passage in Black and White 2, but in Black and White 1 it can be found at the Wellspring Cave. When it evolves into Boldore at level 25, it picks up even more in the stat department, picking up a lot more in the attack and defensive sides, with its HP increasing a little bit as well. Special stats are still incredibly depressing, and its speed really isn't much better. In Black 2 and White 2 it can be found in pretty much every single cave, as well as in Black and White 1 it can be found in the Chargestone Cave, Nistrolton Cave, Twist Mountain, Victory Road and the Giant Chasm. To evolve it into a Gigalith you're going to have to trade it, which is kind of frustrating, but it's a little better if you're playing Black 2 and White 2 because you can trade an Emolga for one on Route 7. However, in Black and White 1 you are going to have to trade to get one. When looking at Gigalith stats, it has very high attack and defensive stats, as well as okay HP. Decent enough special defense for a Pokemon who generally tends to favour the physical side, but its special attack and speed are dismally low. And also when covering its stats, it really does not have any other moves other than rock and ground type moves, and doesn't really have much to offer. When it comes to a rock type, it's outclassed, it's unbelievably slow. If you wish to get a slow Pokemon, there are better ones that are bulkier and more powerful and have better coverage. So I wouldn't really recommend Gigalith. It's pretty good, but it's not as good either, so I'll go in the middle and I'll give it 2.5 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Relic Passage is Woobat. Woobat is a psychic flying type and can have the abilities either Klutz or Unaware, with Simple as a hidden ability. When looking at its stats you can see that it's pretty much a special attacker, having okay HP, special attack and pretty good speed stats, kind of bad everywhere else. When looking at Woobat you can find it in the Relic Passage, Nistrolton Cave, Seaside Cave, Wellspring Cave, the Route 6 Hidden Grotto, Reversal Mountain, Clay Tunnel and the Twist Mountain in Black 2 and White 2. And in Black and White 1 it can be found in the Wellspring Cave, Nistrolton Cave, Chargestone Cave, Twist Mountain, Victory Road and the Challengers Cave, so it can be found in a lot of places. To evolve it into Swoobat you're going to have it at full happiness, but when it does so, it has fairly depressing stats still, with its speed of course being its most jumping out factor, with base 114, which is pretty damn zippy. It's going to be outspeeding a lot of Pokemon. Its special attack is okay, but then again it's just those stats. It's typing completely outclassed by Sigilyph, which you can get later on in the game. However, if you pick one up on Route 6 in the Hidden Grotto, if you get lucky enough and you get one with Simple, Swoobat can be a monster. Simple will make it so that when it uses a move such as Calm Mind, which it learns through level up, which is very helpful, instead of giving +1 to special attack and special defense, it gives +2, which makes Swoobat a monster after one setup. Especially since it can learn pretty decent coverage moves as well as its psychic and flying moves, learning moves such as Heat Wave, which is a very good move to cover steel types of course. Regardless of that though, it is still very weak on the physically defensive side, and without Simple it really just isn't very good, especially since Sigilyph can learn Calm Mind as well. But if you get one with Simple it's definitely usable, and I'd have to give that one about 3.5 stars, but otherwise Swoobat really isn't very good and it will only get 2 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Relic Passage is Timburr. Timburr is a fighting type and can have the abilities either Guts or Sheer Force, with Iron Fist as a hidden ability. It can be found only in the Relic Passage in Black 2 and White 2, and in Black and White 1 it can be found in the exterior of Pinwheel Forest as well as the Cold Storage. When looking at its stats you can see that it's a very generic fighting type with high attacking stats, well physically anyway, with decent physical defense, sorry, and HP, but kind of lacking everywhere else. It's got a fairly similar build to Machop actually. At level 25 it will evolve into Girder, and when it does so it picks up a lot more in the physical attacking side, as well as pretty decent HP and physical defense, lacking everywhere else though. Can be found as a Girder at the Relic Passage, Victory Road, Pinwheel Forest and the Twist Mountain in Black 2 and White 2, and in Black and White 1 can be found in the Twist Mountain. To get a Conkeldurr though, you are going to have to evolve it through a link trade. But if you do manage to get that, then you'll have a serious monster of a Pokemon on your hands with a base 140 attack, which is very high. But other than that glaring stat, it does have pretty decent physical defense and HP, meaning it is a very, very good physically bulky attacker. It's a little low everywhere else, and it is quite slow. When comparing it to other fighting types like Lucario, it falls short. Lucario is much better, and always will be, because it's fast, has a lot of different coverage moves, and can boost its stats in whichever way it wants to really, and can go mixed very easily. Conkeldurr is a little more limited. It has to rely on fairly weak fighting type moves for pretty much the whole of the game. Well, you get superpower around, Hammer Arm at around about level 45, I think it's 45, and that gives it a lot more power. But one strategy you can use is it learns Bulk Up at level 28, regardless of whether you've got a Girder or a Conkeldurr. And Bulk Up will make it so that it bolsters its physical defense even more, as well as raising that incredibly high physical attack stat, meaning that it can set up quite well. As well as its fighting type move, it can use Payback to compensate for its low speed, which makes it very nice since it will have pretty much unresisted coverage, missing out only on Heracross and Toxic Croak. But if you want to, you can get an extra coverage move such as Rock Slide or Ice Punch or any of the elemental punches I think it learns. And yeah, it learns a lot of decent coverage moves and can do very well for itself despite its low speed. I would give Conkeldurr around about 3.5 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find at the Relic Passage is Drillbur. Drillbur is a ground type and can have the abilities either Sand Force or Sand Rush, with Mold Breaker as a hidden ability. It can be found in the Relic Passage, as well as the Mistralton Cave and the Chargestone Cave, only in the Swirling Dust however. And in Black and White 1 it can be found in the Wellspring Cave, Twist Mountain, Chargestone Cave and the Mistralton Cave, as well in the Swirling Dust. When looking at its stats, it's got very high physical attack for an unevolved Pokemon, with pretty damn good speed as well, and decent enough HP, but its other stats are very, very bad. At level 31 it will evolve into Excadrill, and as an Excadrill it can be found at the Relic Passage, the Mistralton Cave and the Chargestone Cave in the Swirling Dust. And in Black and White 1 it can be found in the Wellspring Cave, Twist Mountain, Chargestone Cave and the Mistralton Cave in the Swirling Dust. When it does evolve into Excadrill though, it will pick up a Steel subtype, which gives it a lot of useful resistances. Doesn't really offer anything stab move wise though, which kinda sucks, because it doesn't really offer any coverage. But when looking at Excadrill's stats you can see that it is a monster. It has very high physical attack, very high HP to back up those fairly lousy defensive stats, as well as kind of an iffy speed stat. It's good, but it's not amazing. If you use Sandstorm however, and you have one with Sand Rush, then it's lightning quick, one of the fastest Pokemon in the entire game. Combine that with Swords Dance, as well as Earthquake and Rock Slide, and this thing is a monster, and I'm not kidding, this Excadrill can sweep any team it wants to with just those two moves. You can of course add into that mix a Steel type move to get yourself an extra stab move, or like something like Shadow Claw for a little extra coverage. It's not really needed because Ground and Rock has fairly unresisted coverage as it is. But Excadrill is a total monster, and even without that Sand Rush boost it is still a monster in that it is so powerful and still in a decent speed tier. So yeah, I would give Excadrill 4.5 stars, just because, yeah, there's something about it that's just not quite 5-star material, but don't get me wrong, Excadrill is amazing. The final new Pokemon you can find in the Relic Passage is Onix. Onix is a rock ground type and can have the abilities of the Rockhead or Sturdy, with weak armour as a hidden ability. It can be found at the Relic Passage, the Clay Tunnel, Twist Mountain and the Victory Road in the Swirling Dust only, and in Black and White 1 it can be found in the Relic Castle, but only in the aftergame section. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's got one very big glaring stat, which is its physical defense. This thing is made to be a physical wall, except the fact that it's got a dismally low HP stat, and everywhere else it really struggles. It has very, very bad stat arrangement in that its defense is so high that it completely overshadows all of its other stats. Apart from its speed, for such a big, massive, heavy rock ground type, it really is pretty damn zippy. That's not to say it's very good though. When it evolves into Steelix, when you trade it with a metal coat, its rock type turns into a steel type, of all things, and it can be found as a Steelix to avoid the trading in the Clay Tunnel and Twist Mountain in the Swirling Dust. Of course, that's only after game. When looking at Steelix, you can see again that one big glaring stat has been raised even more to base 200, which is one of the highest in the game. I think it's only second to Shuckle. However, it doesn't completely overshadow all of its stats, because its physical attack is, you know, it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Certainly doesn't compare to Excadrill, but of course, Steelix is made for walling. Its HP stat is okay as well. Its special defense is very overshadowed, and its speed has dropped quite drastically, by more than half actually. But Steelix is of course made to be a defensive Pokemon. It does that job okay. It's not amazing at its job, but it's pretty good. It's better in competitive play than it is in game. In game it's okay, but if you want a steel ground type, then you really should go for Excadrill. But Steelix is okay, and I would give it 2.5 stars. Okay, so let's have a look around. This is where I want to try and find a new Pokemon. Let's see if we can find it. I don't have any repels at the moment. Here it is! Timber! This is the one I want to catch. Hopefully I don't do too much damage to it. Let's just go for an Ember. Oh, Bide. That's not good. Hopefully I can catch this thing relatively quickly. Okay, well let's just try and catch it at that range. Timber's not too difficult to catch. It'd be nice if I didn't have to brave the Bide. 3. There we go. Okay, so we have Timber, a new Pokemon for our team. Timber, the muscular Pokemon. Okay, so gonna give this thing a nickname. This doesn't really make sense for a nickname right now because of it being a Timber, but when it's a Conkeldurr, sorry, this is what I'm gonna have it called. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm going to call it Conker, with 2 R's, just because it follows the theme of the name. Yeah, so I always think of Conkeldurr as Conker for some reason, I don't know why. And obviously, Conker like that's kind of fun. Bashful nature, that's fine. Guts, that's very good. So this is a perfect one. Want low kick up there. Has rock slide, well, rock throw at this point as well, which is really good. So yeah, have a new Pokemon. It's a perfect Pokemon for my team. So yeah. I think I will, before I carry on exploring this place, I think I will go and get some repels, so I'll just quickly end and re-record, because you don't want to be seeing new Pokemon. I've already showed you them. So, just a sec. Okay, so, got some repels. So I think we'll explore the sewers first. I think I will do all 3 areas on this episode, just because this makes it easier that way. So let's head down here. There isn't too much to explore because of the water being up, but yes. So hello Mr. Janitor. Cleaning actually takes a lot of strength. In other words, I've been training real hard by doing all this cleaning. Okay, well, I'm happy for you. Felix with a Lillipup, should I say. So, I'm putting Conquer up to the front. He needs basically the bulk of my training at the moment because Ignite is going to be used most in the gym battle because it's a bug type gym, which is where that stupid pun came from. Be nice to have a better move than low kick at this point, but hey. Don't know when I get wake up slap, but it's not too far. And a Trubbish. Okay, well I will switch for this thing. Let's go into Samantha. I'm not going to be training Samantha anymore now that I've gotten Conquer, but we'll train her up to level... well, we'll use her in this place. Or maybe I'll just use Razor Shell, get this thing over with, and then retire her. Probably be easier that way, to be honest. Oops, who cares about winning or losing? Okay, so... yeah, we've got Conquer up front, that's fine. So, let's see what's down here. So you can't cross over those wooden areas. This is a nice feature in Black 2 and White 2 that they added. You can automatically renew your repels, which is really nice. Hello, hello. Humans need sewers, but what about Pokemon? Take that question and take this battle challenge with it. I said that really weirdly, but hey. Okay, so Scott has a Timber. Oh, look at that. I also have a Timber. And we're both the same level. This will be an interesting fight. I'm going to use Focus Energy just in case it uses Bide, because I'm not sure what this thing's going to do. I had the same idea. Okay, so let's just go for low kick. Luckily it didn't Bide. Good. Wow, that didn't do very much at all. As opposed to that, which critted me. Thanks for that. Now it's using Bide. Great. There, that's a nice crit. Let's just go for another one. Should take it out. Hopefully. Yay! Don't have to take any more damage. Okay, there appears to be no barrier between you and your Pokemon. That's true. Right, so just kind of... it's not hidden as such, but right there is a pearl. So let's head up. Oh, can't go that way. Okay, so let's just keep moving. Stupid repel wearing off. Can't wait till I can get super repels. Can't go up there. So yeah, I think the areas in here are really limited when it's the water's drained. But it's not too bad. You can get some things done. So up here, stupid repel, you can find an X Special Defend, which is nice, I guess. Another broken post, so let's head up here this time. Okay, see what's down here. Oh, a scientist with the creepy music. I'm a researcher studying the smell here. I'm sure that's a very good job for you. I'm sure it's either Trubbish or Stunky making that smell, don't worry. Or Grimer, could be that too. Okay, so this isn't a very good matchup, but we'll see what Rock Throw can do. Special attack Rose. I mean, Sludge could do a lot. Okay, so yeah, that obviously means I have to switch. Let's go into Ignite. Yeah, Sludge. I saw that coming a mile off. Wow, that didn't even do very much still. Let's use Feint Attack rather than Ember, just because Grimer has much more special defense. That still didn't do very much. Ugh. Accuracy falling. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Feint Attack's 100% accurate, regardless. That's perfect accuracy. Oh, Disable, really? Really? Ugh. Alright, let's just use Ember. Get it over with. Conquer up to level 18, awesome. If I would express this disappointment in a scent, I'd put it something with Gloom, I don't know. Okay. Suspicious. Okay, so that's what's in here. Nothing. Okay. Anything in here? That's weird. Just nothing in there. At all. It's kind of weird. Alright, so... yeah, let's head up here. Hello, hello. Whoa! What are you saying whoa for there? Zach, with your Drillbur. Okay. I hope this doesn't have dig. I don't know what level Drillbur learns dig, but I hope it's not now. Annoying Mud Slap. Good. Wow, that didn't do very much at all. Rapid spin, really? 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 Come on! I did a whole like 2 damage. Yeah, I can't really see this really going anywhere, so let's just go into Ignite. Conker really needs something that isn't low kick, because low kick is not very good at this point in the game. Thank you for not hitting more than twice. Let's use Feint Attack just because it's got 100% accuracy. Even if he tries to use Mud Slap. That's nice amount of damage. Let's go for another one. Take it down. Okay, I lost! That you did. Okay, so... Conker needs some healing, but there is a doctor hanging around somewhere. Nothing down here. There he is. So these are doctors. They will heal your Pokemon as many times as you like after you've fought them once. You must defeat them, which is really weird because even if you lose, you go back to the Pokemon Center. Anyway, oh, I see Waddle. I can take this thing on. It's fine. I have Rock Throw. I see a Razor Leaf coming my way, but hey, just Rock Throw. Oh, really? Less than half. Alright, well let's just hope we can take this thing out. I would like Conker to get the experience. Wow, that did a lot. There we go, 2-hit KO. Awesome. Oh, what's this? It is the very picture of health. Heal me. Before you go, let me give your Pokemon a little booster shot. Thank you very much. Feel free to drop by any time if your Pokemon need a little TLC. That I will do. Here is a very important item, I guess. It's really nice. Got the leftovers. Yeah. Very nice item. Heals 1/12 of your HP every turn. Or is it 1/16? I don't remember. Lots of toxins build up in the sewer system. I think I can use them to make medicines. So I'm running an experiment. If this works, I might be able to use the venom and poison type Pokemon to make different medicines. How exciting! Well, the results of today's experiment was... Well, today's experiment could have gone better, but I did manage to make a potion. Here, you can have it. Thank you. I'll keep experimenting every day. It's important to keep trying. Come back and see how it's going. I've never actually done that, but I don't know how good it gets. If it gets any better than that. I've never seen what it does. Can't go that way, so we're pretty much all done here. I will explore this place when spring turns around, I reckon. Possibly, I'm not sure. Because there are some things you can do once you get surf. So let's go to the Castelia Garden, why not? So there's not very much to do here, but here's a very good place to train against Ordino. You can find a Miracle Seed there, which is nice. What do you have to say? Apparently this is where it all began for Castelia City. I will use another Repel. But we have 3, 4... I think it's 3 new Pokemon in here. So again, we've got some more Pokemon reviews coming at you, so... Sorry for this. No, not really sorry, it's just they do take a little while, so feel free to skip. One of the new Pokemon you can find at the Castelia Garden is Cottony. Cottony is a grass type and can have the abilities either Prankster or Infiltrator, as well as Chlorophyll as a hidden ability. Prankster of course being the best one of the 3 because it gives it +1 priority on all non-attacking moves and can learn some pretty decent support moves. As a Cottony, it can be found at the Castelia Garden, Lost Lawn Forest, Abundant Shrine, Victory Road and Pinwheel Forest in Black 2, but not White 2. In Black and White 1, it can only be found in the Pinwheel Forest, Abundant Shrine and Lost Lawn Forest, but again only in Black 1. When looking at its stats, you can see that it's made to be a supporting Pokemon with decent defensive stats as well as pretty good speed. When it evolves into Whimsicott through the use of a Sunstone, it gets a little more in the stat department, becoming very zippy and having decent enough defensive stats as well as okay special attack. I mean, its special attack is better than that of Serperior's. That's not to say it's that good though. Although Whimsicott doesn't really learn any decent coverage moves at all. Just basically learns grass type moves and then Hurricane later on. Anyway. As a Whimsicott, it can be found in exactly the same places as Cottony, but only in the shaking grass. One interesting thing to note about Whimsicott is that if you opt to go for Chlorophyll, you manage to get one with Chlorophyll. If you put it under Sun, have it as max HP, and sorry, max speed. Don't know where I'm going with that. Max speed, totally max speed, and use Chlorophyll. It is the fastest Pokemon in the entire game, outspeeding even Choice Scarf Deoxys speed, I'm pretty sure. Feel free to correct me on that, I haven't done my maths. However, if you're playing White 2 or White 1 and you wish to get yourself a Cottony and a Whimsicott, head over to Route 4, which is just north of Castelia City, pick yourself up a Petilil and head over there after you've beaten the gym, and you can trade for a Cottony for a Petilil in a house on Route 4. If you're playing White 1, you can do that exact same trade, but instead in Nacrene City. Whimsicott on its own though is really not a very good Pokemon, and I'd only give it 2 stars tops. Another new Pokemon you can find at the Castelia Garden is Petilil. Petilil is a grass type. It can have the abilities either Own Tempo or Chlorophyll, as well as Leaf Guard as a hidden ability. It can be found in the Castelia Garden, Lost Lawn Forest, Abundant Shrine, Victory Road and the Pinwheel Forest, but only in White 2, not in Black 2. And in Black and White 1 it can only be found in the Pinwheel Forest, Abundant Shrine and Lost Lawn Forest, but again only in White 1. If you wish to pick yourself up a Petilil and you're playing Black 2 or Black 1, then head over to Route 4 if you're playing Black 2, and head over to Nacrene City if you're playing Black 1, and you can trade yourself a Cottony for a Petilil if you wish to get yourself one that way. When looking at Petilil's stats, it's obviously made to be an attacker as opposed to Cottony, having pretty decent defensive stats, almost getting as good as Cottony's. However, it's much slower but has a much higher special attack, almost as good as Whimsicott fully evolved. I mean, it's pretty impressive. When it evolves into Lilligant through the use of a Sunstone, it picks up a lot more in the special attack department and becomes fairly zippy. I mean, it's not amazingly fast, but it's pretty damn fast, with decent defensive stats. But Lilligant is one of the most overused Pokemon in the entire game, and when looking at its stats, it's kind of a bit odd why. I mean, there is a slightly better grass type coming up, but Lilligant is used for pretty much 2 moves and 2 moves only: Quiver Dance and Sleep Powder. Quiver Dance is amazing. To put it simply, it raises its special attack, its special defense and speed all by one stage in just the one turn, and it's the only grass type to learn such a move. As well as this, Sleep Powder can also help it set up. The only downside, because of course there's a downside to every upside, Lilligant has a barren move pool. It has no coverage moves to speak of whatsoever. There isn't a normal type move or hidden power. However, if you did trade for one in Black 1 or Black 2, I'm pretty sure that the Petilil's IVs actually give it hidden power ground, which is pretty good. It covers a lot of its weaknesses and can give it a second move to use. However, if you're not bothering with that route, or if you're playing White 2 or White 1, a good moveset I would say is Petal Dance with Own Tempo as the ability, which gives a very good combination, as well as Giga Drain for some kind of nice healing, as well as Quiver Dance and Sleep Powder. Of course, you won't want to be fighting anything with a weakness. So, Lilligant is a pretty damn good Pokemon with some pretty decent stats and become a monster once it's got some Quiver Dances up. However, that barren move pool really eats into it, and so I'm only going to be able to give Lilligant 4 stars. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Garden is Skitty. Skitty is a normal type and can have the abilities either Cute Charm or Normalize, with Wonder Skin as a hidden ability. In Black 2 and White 2 can only be found in the Castelia Garden, and again only in White 2. In Black and White 1 it's completely absent, however. When looking at its stats you can see that there's absolutely nothing that stands out whatsoever. It really is a very underwhelming Pokemon and is outclassed by pretty much every single normal type there is. Evolves into Delcatty through a Moonstone, and when it does so, its stats are still bad. Like, for a fully evolved Pokemon, they are some of the worst stats of any Pokemon in the entire game. Not having a single stat over 70 is just pathetic. It's like so bad. The only redeeming factor about Skitty and Delcatty is the fact that they're kinda cute, as referenced in their Cute Charm ability. But speaking of their abilities, Normalize is also an incredibly awful ability, which means that every single one of its moves is a normal type move. Now this can be used with some sort of strategy, like using Toxic on a Poison or a Steel type, or using Will-O-Wisp. I don't think it learns it, but Will-O-Wisp on a Fire type, things like that. But other than that, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible Pokemon, and should not be considered for any real team ever, in-game or competitive. Awful Pokemon, 1 star. Another new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Garden is Baneri. Baneri is a normal type and can have the abilities either Run Away or Klutz, with Limber as a hidden ability. It can be found only in the Castelia Garden, only in Black 2 however, and is completely absent in Black and White 1. When looking at its stats, it's got decent enough physical attack and okay defences. I mean, they're still kind of bad, but they're okay. But it's pretty damn zippy. When it evolves into Lopunny through Happiness, it will have its Runaway ability turn into Cute Charm, and other than that its defences will get a massive boost. Its defence and special defence being, you know, not okay high. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're pretty good, and still pretty damn zippy as well. Its attack stat is okay. I mean, it's 1 point higher than like Serperior's, which is not really much to say, but it's okay. I mean, it learns a lot of good coverage moves. It can learn a wide array of moves, sorry. Just like most normal types, however, though. I mean, really, it's no better than, say, Ordino, apart from the fact that it's quite fast. And Klutz means it can't use any held items, which is quite bad. In competitive play, that can be used to some sort of strategy, using Klutz with like an Iron Ball or something and then Switcheroo. But in game, Lopunny is really not very good. Its abilities don't help it. It's not a very good Pokemon at all, and the only merit it has is that it's a bit better than Skitty, which really isn't saying much considering Skitty is terrible. But Lopunny's okay. I'll give it 2 stars tops. The final new Pokemon you can find in the Castelia Garden is Eevee. Be prepared, because this is going to be a long one. It can have the abilities either Run Away or Adaptability, with Anticipation as a hidden ability. Is nowhere to be found in Black and White 1. It's completely absent. Must be traded or use the Poké Transfer to get one. In Black and White 2, however, it can be found in the Castelia Garden, and as well as any hidden grotto with its hidden ability. As well as in the after game, you can pick one up in Castelia City from, I think it's Fennel, which also has its hidden ability, but it is a male, so it can't breed down any of its abilities. When looking at Eevee's stats, it's a very plain normal type, special defense being its best stat, oddly. But you don't want to keep it as an Eevee for very long. It can evolve into a whopping 1 of 7 Pokemon, known as Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, and then Leafeon and Glaceon, but Leafeon and Glaceon are not available until the after game. I will be covering them in this because they are technically evolutions of Eevee, so why not? If you opt to evolve it into Vaporeon, which requires the use of a Water Stone, its abilities will basically turn into Water Absorb if you chose a standard one, and then Hydration if you have one with Anticipation. When looking at Vaporeon, it has two very big stats, HP being its obvious one, and then special attack also being another good one. Special defense again is pretty good. Eevee and, well, its evolutions all have one stat that's base 130, one that's 110, one that's 95, two that are 65, and then one that's 60. So they'll all be kind of jiggered around. But Vaporeon's stat distribution is pretty damn good. It's made to be kind of a tankish Pokemon. I mean, it's pretty good at what it does. It can learn some decent moves. It can obviously learn the usual Surf and Ice Beam combination, as well as moves such as Shadow Ball and Signal Beam. It can also learn some obvious defensive moves such as Toxic and stuff like that. Unfortunately for Vaporeon, the earliest you can get an Eevee is like one level later than when Vaporeon learns Water Pulse, which means that you're going to be without a water type move until you get to the 5th badge, which is a downside. But Vaporeon is very good, and Vaporeon on its own will get 4 stars. It's a very good Pokemon. If you chose to evolve your Eevee into a Jolteon through the use of a Thunderstone, its abilities will turn into Volt Absorb or Quick Feet if you had an Anticipation one. When looking at Jolteon's stats, its obvious speed is very obvious, it's so big, as well as its special attack also being very good, matching Vaporeon's, and also matching Vaporeon's special defense as well. Other stats are not as good. When considering Jolteon against other electric types such as Electivire and later on Electros, Jolteon kind of drew the short straw a little bit. It really doesn't learn very good electric type moves at all. It gets discharge at a very, very late level, just like Magnezone. And also has a completely barren move pool when it comes to coverage, just like Magnezone basically. Can learn the obligatory Shadow Ball and Signal Beam, of course, for some extra coverage, as well as Thunder Wave, which can also be quite useful. Jolteon's pretty good, I'd say. I mean, its speed really helps it, and it's a better Pokemon for the speed than, say, Crobat, and also gives it an immunity to electric type moves, which is quite nice. As on a whole, I would probably give Jolteon 3.5 stars. If you chose to evolve your Eevee into a Flareon, which is a Fire type, its abilities will change into Flash Fire if you had a standard one, and then Guts if you had one with Anticipation. When looking at Flareon's stats, you can see that its 130 stat is obviously its physical attack, with its special defense being its second best, and then special attack being the 95 one, with the rest of its stats being okay. Flareon is known to many people as the worst Eeveelution. When looking at its stats, it's kind of difficult to see why, because it has some pretty damn good stats, and a decent enough stat distribution could do with its 95 stat or 110 stat being speed, really, but it's difficult to understand why Flareon is as bad as it is. The simple reason is this: its best physical fire type move is Fire Fang, and I'm not kidding. A 65 power move to come off that base 130 attack is useless. Second of all, it has a completely barren move pool whether you use special moves or physical moves, and if you're using it for special attacking, it's outclassed by pretty much every single fire type in the entire game, including Emboar. When using its physical attack, because of its lousy Fire Fang, it's outclassed by Darmanitan and Emboar. It's just the classic Pokemon that outclass it. It is the worst fire type in this game and the worst Eeveelution by far. But Flareon is okay, I have to give it some credit. Flareon will get 2.5 stars. Another new Pokemon you can evolve Eevee into is Espeon. Espeon is a Psychic type and can have the ability Synchronize if you had a standard one, and then Magic Bounce as the hidden ability. Magic Bounce can be very, very good. It basically bounces back any status move such as Stealth Rock, Spikes, Taunt, Sleep Powder, anything. It's so good. When looking at Espeon's stats, its 130 stat is special attack, and then its 110 stat being speed, and its 95 stat being special defense, just like Jolteon and Vaporeon. Espeon, to me, is the best evolution. Its stat distribution really helps it. It is so good. It learns Psybeam at level 21 instead of Vaporeon's lousy level 17 Water Pulse, which means it will get that move very nicely. But if you want to get an Espeon, you're going to have to evolve it through Happiness and during the day. It must be during the day, or else it will evolve into Umbreon, which we'll cover in just a second. But Espeon also has a fairly barren move pool, but can learn moves such as the good old Psychic, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. Can also learn Calm Mind later on, which is pretty decent, and if you wish to just shove an extra move on there and you can't really find one, it can also learn Future Sight, which got a bit of a juice in this generation. Espeon is very good and is probably the best Psychic type in this game, kind of falling a little bit short on those coverage issues, so I would personally give Espeon 4.5 stars. Another Pokemon that Eevee could evolve into, the long list. If you evolve Eevee through full happiness, and at night it will evolve into Umbreon. Umbreon is a dark type, and its abilities will turn into Synchronize, just like Espeon, and its hidden ability will turn into Inner Focus. When looking at Umbreon's stats, you can tell that it is obviously made for defense capabilities, being very, very high defensive stats in all three, HP, defense and special defense, all being so high. The problem with this is that in-game, you'll really want to be focusing on attacking rather than defending, and you don't really normally need a defensive Pokemon because you just have items. Because of that, Umbreon really kind of falls into the shadows of its other evolutions, possibly Flareon. Umbreon can pick up Foul Play though through one of the move tutors, which gives it a pretty damn good stab move that it can use against Pokemon such as, well, anything with a good attack stat. But it kind of struggles everywhere else. It really doesn't have very good stats. Of course, if you're more of a defensive player, Umbreon will definitely be suited to you. And in competitive play, Umbreon is pretty damn good. But in-game, Umbreon is okay, but it's not amazing. I would give Umbreon 3 stars. Now, one of the Pokemon you can also evolve Eevee into is Leafeon, but this is not available until the aftergame, I must stress this. But if you do wish to get yourself a Leafeon, you must evolve it outside the Moss Rock in the Pinwheel Forest, and you must level it up there. Of course, not at full happiness, or it might evolve into Espeon or Umbreon, so do be careful of that. Its abilities will change into either Leaf Guard as a standard or Chlorophyll as a hidden ability, of course Chlorophyll being the better one of the two. Leafeon's stats are also pretty damn good, with physical attack being 110, which is pretty good. Its defense, physical defense is obviously its best stat, being base 130, which is kind of odd for a grass type, not named Tangrowth. And yeah, I mean, Leafeon is pretty good. It's pretty zippy, has high attack. I think it can learn Sword Stance as well. And unlike its other evolutions, it doesn't have a completely barren move pool. It learns Leaf Bleed very late though. I think it's like level 78 or something, unless they changed it in Black 2 and White 2. But Leafeon is pretty damn good. It has no coverage issues to speak of. It can learn Dig to cover Steel types, which most other evolutions cannot cover, really. Yeah, I mean, Leafeon is pretty damn good. I would probably say Leafeon is the third best out of all of the evolutions. Of course, not being available to aftergame kind of lets it down a little bit. But yeah, I would give Leafeon about 4 stars. The final Pokemon of the long list that Eevee can possibly evolve into is Glaceon. Glaceon must be gotten through the use of the Icy Rock, which is available in the Twist Mountain, which is of course in the aftergame. So if you wish to get that, you have to wait till then or trade. Glaceon's abilities will either turn into Snow Cloak as a hidden ability, standard, and then Ice Body as a hidden ability. When looking at Glaceon's stats, it looks like to be more of a defensive Pokemon, having a fairly similar build to Togekiss actually, as well as Empoleon, having high special attack, very high special attack, as well as pretty good defensive stats as well. Glaceon is pretty damn good and is my favourite Eeveelution. It is an ice type, of course. I don't think I said that already. But it's very good. The only place it really struggles, just like Espeon, is the fact that it is has a very barren move pool, learning the very standard moves, and then not much else really. Of course, when looking at its stats, you can also tell that it's actually fairly slow as well, unlike Espeon. But I'd say that Glaceon is pretty good. It's not as good as Leafeon, I don't think, but Glaceon is pretty damn good. And one interesting thing to note is that tied with regular Kyurem and then beaten by White Kyurem, Glaceon has the most powerful Ice-type move in the entire game. With max special attack and a choice specs and Blizzard, it hits the hardest out of any Ice-type Pokemon other than the aforementioned 2 Kyurems. But Glaceon's pretty damn good. I would have to give it 3.5 stars. So when giving an overview over all of the Eeveelutions, let's rank all of them. Espeon, top of the list. Definitely top of the list. I would place Vaporeon as second best overall. Leafeon is probably third best. Jolteon is fourth best. Glaceon is fifth best. Umbreon is sixth best, and then Flareon is unfortunately at the bottom of the barrel. So sorry for this incredibly long review, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this Eevee big review. But yeah. Okay, so let's head back down, and let's go into the Relic Passage this time. There's, again, not really too much to do in there, but we'll explore it anyway. Get it all done in one episode, just the underground part of Castelia, just because it's a little easier that way. Hello, hello. What do you have to say for yourself? The sewer and this Relic Passage. Is it really simple coincidence that they exist so close to each other? That's probably all it is, I have to agree with you. Lumina. That's an interesting name. So, a Venipede. Let's just rock this thing with a rock throw. Next defend. How I hate you. Wow, that still did a lot even with it. Pursuit. Whatever. Who the hell cares? Hold for 2 damage. Hold 2 damage. Big whoop. And she's rock throw again. Screw it. Yeah, rock fighting has pretty good coverage, to be honest. And a coughing. Well, we definitely want to be switching for this. Let's go into Ignite. And let's see. Let's go for Ember. That didn't do very much. Can't wait for you to get Flame Burst. That's nice. So it should be a 2-hit KO. Boom. No, there must be a reason why. Oh, when did I lose? It's good that you noticed. You can bring the dowsing machine here, but there is an escape rope there in case you didn't get the dowsing machine first. You can get the dowsing machine by going onto Route 4. Are we the same level, or did I just not reset? Okay, we're the same level. Okay. So the Pokemon in here are a fairly nice level for catching a new Pokemon. What's up here? A Hard Stone. Ups the power of rock type moves. I guess we'll give that to Conquer right now. Why the heck not? Here we are. Hard Stone. Let's give it to Conquer. Up the power of his rock type moves. May as well. It's not like I have anything to up fighting type moves right now. Okay, so let's just get this item first. Stupid Pokemon popping out. Oh, a Timber. Level 18. Guess really I should take it out, but meh. Okay, so there's another escape rope right here. I'll probably use that, to be honest. Boo! The fact that you are here means that you're also part of the sewer? Alright, then I will survey you too. Okay, fine. Do what you need to do, Mr. Scientist. With your creepy laugh. Grimer. How frustrating. Everything in here is resistant to my fighting type moves. Let's see how much rock throw will do. Special defend, whatever. It's not bad. 3-hit KO, I'd assume. Oh, okay, we're switching. Stupid disable, stupid miss, stupid everything. Just going to ignite. Let's just get this over with. Minimize. That's a very frustrating move, but if you have something like Faint Attack or Shockwave, it's a good thing at this point. So I'm at -1 accuracy and he's at +2 evasion. Whatever, can still hit you. Conquered up to level 19. Awesome. Right, so we have a backpacker. Let's just take you on. I would assume you have something like a Rog and Roller. It's the Waving Weaving Walk! Warwalk for short. I wonder what kind of Pokemon we'll meet today. So he must be the guy off telly, I would assume. Kendall. With his Herdia. Don't have Intimidate, please. I'm gonna kill you if you do. Yay, no Intimidate. Okay, let's just low kick. Obvious that I was gonna be outsped, but whoa, that did a lot. Nice 2-hit KO there. Work up. Whatever. I can just take you on. Take you out, rather. Just dispose of this doggy. 666. What a creepy amount of experience. Your Pokemon have good abilities, don't they? As a matter of fact, they do. You're right. This place is suspicious for a hidden item. Alright, so both my Pokemon are very, very close to level 20. But whatever, let's just... Oh yeah, escape rope, that's what I want to use. Let's just get out of here. Okay, so... I think on the next episode we'll explore the whole of Castelia City, so do bear in mind that it's going to be a long episode. And then after that we'll explore the gym. So, until then, see you next time guys.